Hello, everyone. It is Pat and Bert, and our monthly, it's turning into about a monthly update of the school building project here, the Mountain View School here in Easthampton. And today we actually have with us Steve from the Energy Advisory Committee. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Pat. How you doing?
I'm good. So as we have been doing these videos, Steve had reached out to me as he's going to tell us a little bit about what that committee does for the city. And he had asked if he could be part of, or we could kind of highlight some of the things that the city has put into place as far as this project. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about the committee you're on, in a short version, and what's happening.
Yep, thanks, Pat. So this Energy Advisory Committee is set up from the city. It's part of our charter. Our goal is to encourage energy efficiency across the city and also to encourage renewable generation. So, as this being one of the biggest construction projects in our town, that's one of the important things that we kind of wanted to highlight, and we've always kind of reached out to the architects and Bert early on. We were reached out when we were doing different things of doing the applications for the project. So Bert, could you tell us something about the energy efficiency stuff that's going into the new school?
Yeah, I think first off, it's important to note that all MSBA projects, all school projects in the state that receive funding from MSBA have to be LEED certified or Northeast CHIP certified. Those are two compliance paths you can take. But Easthampton selected the LEED program, which is the USGBC. And they actually asked us to target silver, a performance level of silver, which is kind of middle of the road. But we're tracking really well, and I was mentioning to you, Stephen, before when we were just walking around that we actually, in order to make sure we get silver, we always target, points enough to get us into the next category, which would be gold. So there's a off chance we could hit that, but more than likely it'll be silver right where we're asked to hit it. What does that mean as far as energy savings? LEED covers a lot of things from energy efficiency to air quality, but just trying to create healthy environments for schools. On the energy side, we've got measures like photovoltaic arrays on the roof. We've got hot water solar panels to provide our primary source for hot water in the building. And then when you get to the actual HVAC systems, we've got extremely high efficiency condensing boilers. We've got air-cooled chillers for the cooling side. We're using chilled beams in the classrooms, which is a very efficient way of maintaining interior temperatures. So really, those are kind of the measures from the mechanical side of it, but we've also got a very efficient envelope on the building. Our walls range from low R of 22 and a half up to a higher one of 23 and a half, let's say, just ballpark figures. And then our roof, the average R value is probably 36 on the roof. All of this exceeds the code requirements for the building. Specifically back to the energy side, Easthampton not only asked us to go for LEED silver, but unrelated to the kind of threshold that we're targeting within the LEED system, they went for additional reimbursement points from the state by committing to making this building perform 20% better than the energy code requires it to from an energy point.
Well, that's great, Bert. So that basically means we're getting more money up front reimbursed from the state for doing energy efficiency. And then how does that translate in operation of the building going forward?
I think that's where you see your real bang for the buck is that, with these savings, you've got to pay to maintain this building, maintain the heat and the cooling in this building over the life of it, which is 45, 50 years. So I think on the life cycle cost, you're going to see tremendous savings. I've got some examples here that I can give you. Just overall, we're looking at a 45% reduction in annual site energy savings, looking at just over 37% reduction in annual energy cost savings. So that's your dollar number every year, almost 40% that you're saving. So I always equate it to kind of like if you're shopping for something, who doesn't want to look for the 40% sale over
right.
the
exactly.
10% sale?
And an important point, we're not heating the building with oil or like in the old buildings, the schools right now too.
That's right. So this is our boilers that are heating the building are all natural gas, and there is a natural gas moratorium in Easthampton.
Right.
So what that means is you cannot bring a new service into a building in Easthampton that's gas right now.
Yep.
But because we're taking down Whitebrook, our charter was we can't have the new building use any more gas than the current White Brook building does.
Right.
And this White Brook building has to come offline before we turn gas on in the new building. So the new school, which is about twice the size of White Brook, is using slightly less gas than White Brook did to run.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thanks, Bert.
Yeah, so things are really progressing. It's interesting in how quickly a month, how quickly things go from just the steel walls or even the sheetrock that's up to painted. And so a lot of the stuff you're going to see on the third floor today, and some of the rooms include there's some, I don't want to say fixtures, the cabinets and stuff like that are going in.
Yep, we got a lot of the classwork, casework they call it, but it's basically a built-in cabinetry. A lot of that's being installed on the third floor. As you walk through, you'll see that the finished paint is on the walls with one accent wall, typically painted a different color in the classroom.
Yep.
That's really just to kind of pull kids' attention towards the teaching wall. That's why that wall's a different color.
Yep.
And the rest of the walls are kind of light colored, neutral, but it also, again, for energy, ties back into higher reflectance for sunlight, daylighting coming in the windows. We've got light shelves below some of the windows to help reflect more light into the room as well. Mm-hmm. And there's lighting controls in the classrooms that I think you might have gotten a picture of one of those above a door.
I did, yeah.
And what that does is it basically maximizes the daylight harvesting capacity of the room. So if the sun is out and bright, the system will automatically dim the lights to save electricity.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's really cool.
That's really great. So you can see, you'll probably have seen, because a lot of the stuff in the beginning of the video is outside the exterior of the building and what's happening. So tell me a little bit about, where we are as far as the brick and actually a little bit about the energy efficiency of what's happening on the envelope of the building.
Okay, so just in general, the brick is moving along very well. We're actually got just about all of the brick on the middle school, the 3-story wing on the building completed, and now they're working their way around the northernmost elementary school wing, around the back of the building.
Yep.
I think we were able to see some of the progress there too, where the wall, you could kind of see the layers of the wall.
Yep.
So what we've got is we've got brick on the outside, and that's kind of the skin of the building. It's what's protecting the rest of it. Then we've got a 2-inch airspace, clear airspace, which is important from an energy perspective too, because the wall can kind of self-regulate itself in that space. And then we've got the insulation on the outboard of our sheathing, and between the insulation and the sheathing is our weather barrier. So you're getting your thermal protection in the insulation layer, then you're stopping all the air and vapor transmission at the weather barrier of the wall. And then behind the sheathing are studs with no insulation at all. And the benefit there is that the entire envelope, really, as far as an energy performance standpoint is concerned, is outboard of our sheathing. That means if any damage ever occurs to the interior wall, you haven't compromised any of your envelope at that point.
That's important because, like in a regular home, when you have air gaps in doors or in windows, that's some of the place where you can lose some of the most energy during the winter season. So it's good that it's completely on the outside, so nobody puts a nail in the wall and puts a hole inside.
Right, a hole the size of a brad that you'd use to hang a picture lets in a tremendous amount of moisture vapor.
Yeah.
And that's a huge energy loss.
Yeah.
So
again, things are really progressing. The gym, is looking great. Everything, once it gets a fresh coat of paint, starts to look a lot bigger. And I will say that we stood in the gym for a few minutes, and the Gymatorium, I guess, is really what we're calling it. And it should really be a great space for performances by the students. I can really see that being a great addition to what's happening in the building with the kids. They can do a lot of different things there, I think.
Yeah, in the main gym we've got 3 teaching stations, 2 on the elementary school side. Then there's a large accordion wall that folds down from the ceiling that separates it from the middle school side, and that's a complete acoustical separation of the 2 sides of the gym. When it's opened up, though, as you said, as a performance space, we've got a very nice proscenium opening plan for the stage area. And then we've got seating capacity for, I think in the bleachers, we've got seating capacity for the entire elementary school population. And then there's room on the floor for more chairs or mats in front.
That's great. All right. So that is about it. I think that's going to wrap it up, unless I forgot something. What do you guys think?
I think that's it.
I think that's it. So, Steve, tell us how we can find out a little bit more about the Energy Advisory Committee And they can find you guys on Facebook, I'm assuming,
Yep.
right?
Thanks. So we have a Facebook account that we started. We're trying to expand our social media presence and kind of highlighting some of the energy efficiency stuff in the town. Like we have some city-run solar facilities that generate a lot of our city energy for our buildings and stuff. And then also there's many of energy efficiency things you can get through Mass Save is another example that we're going to try to highlight those in some articles. And we typically have monthly meetings that are posted on the city calendar for anybody to join.
Great.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. We did participate in the Mass Save program with this school as well.
That's great.
So,
Oh, excellent. So thank you very much. Look forward to a little bit warmer weather. Maybe actually it hasn't been so bad. That the weather hasn't really been a factor in the project at all, I would say, right?
I'm glad we came today and not yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. A little chilly yesterday and windy. So, all right. Thank you all again, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, Pat.
All right. Have a good day.